Sorcery. Now, this is one that is potentially controversial, right? Because there seems to be a movement in the Black culture to adopt different types of sorcery-based religions, primarily under the idea that we're somehow connecting to our African roots, right? That, there's an opinion that says, hey, when we became slaves, we adopted Christianity which was the god of our slave masters. But when we came from Africa, we didn't worship these gods. Well, that may have been true. The gods that our ancestors worshipped may not have been Jesus Christ, but that doesn't mean that that's the right thing for us to worship. We see these different symbols. The lady on the left is wearing an ankh, the gold chain there. An ankh is a fertility symbol. It's originated in Egypt, and it's supposed to help with fertility and virility and all these different things. And in the middle, the Ouija board, right? This is something that I remember as a kid and going over people's houses and playing with it. The Ouija board is supposed to allow you to communicate with dead people and understand things that are happening. Now, on the right, we see a picture of Beyoncé, and she's wearing an interesting costume. Now, this costume was when she performed on TV some years ago. And she put this costume to embody the goddess Oshun, this African goddess. And I didn't know who Oshun was, so I did a little research. And Oshun is the Yoruba Orisha associated with love, sexuality, fertility, femininity, water, destiny, divination, purity, and beauty. The Oshun River, and of wealth and prosperity in voodoo. It's basically a voodoo queen. She's considered the most popular and venerated of the 401 Orishas. Now, Orishas are the gods that are worshipped by the Yoruba people. Now, this is an African tribe, right? They worship all these different gods. And this particular one, Oshun, is one that Beyoncé now embodies. Basically, she's saying, I am channeling this specific goddess called Oshun. And through this goddess, I get to conduct my music and my performances, and she embodies me, and I can portray these elements of this goddess: love, sexuality, femininity, all these different powers. So I was like, okay, maybe this is just, conspiracy theory. So I was like, let me look at some Beyonce lyrics. And this is lyric in this song called Black Parade. And she says, I'm going back to the South. I'm going back, where my roots ain't watered down, growing like a baobab tree of life on fertile ground. Ancestors put me on game, ankh charm on gold chains with my Oshun energy. Okay, that's pretty clear. She just said everything that she meant it. Like, hey, I'm going back. I'm putting my gold ankh on, which represents this feminine power and sexuality and all this other stuff. And I'm on my Oshun energy. So we need to be careful who we idolize, what we listen to, what we follow. Once again, this scripture in Deuteronomy reminds us: do not let your people practice fortune telling, sorcery, interpret omens, engage in witchcraft, cast spells, function as mediums or psychics, call on spirits of the dead. These are things that God finds detestable. So we need to be aware of these things and avoid it.